Previous tutorial I showed you how to do a T connection between two cylinders in Blender 2.7 such that you get nice clean edges that are all quads, no ngons, and it is good for subdivision surfaces. I'm going to do the same thing now, except I'm going to have two cylinders overlapping or intersecting so they're not dead on. This tutorial is going to go a lot faster than the last tutorial, so if you are interested in seeing some more details, you may want to look at the last tutorial. Also, I'm not going to say what keyboard commands I used because my version of Blender is heavily customized and my keyboard commands are no longer the standard ones, and I don't want to confuse anyone. Alright, let's start by creating the raw materials that we're going to be combining. First of all, let's get rid of the default cube and we're going to create a cylinder. We're going to make it 16 vertices because that's just a nice easy number to work with. Even numbers are always best. We're going to turn off the top and bottom ngons and we're going to make it 6 units high. We're also going to go to orthographic view from the front. In wireframe, we're going to create a circle. We want the circle to be aligned to view. It's also important that it have the exact same number of vertices that your cylinder has, so we make it 16. Now, zooming in, we're going to slide this offset. Now, one important thing is we want to make sure that these is not lined up perfectly. So you want it just offset a little bit, or perhaps more depending on your aesthetics, but right now we have to make it offset a little tiny bit. So, going into 3D view, I'm going to duplicate this circle 3 times. So once, I'm going to move over here, twice, move over here, third time, move it right here. From the top view, I'm going to turn on snapping. I'm going to snap to vertices. I am going to snap this one to here, this one to here. Basically what I've done is there's a single vertex in between the two of them, and these two are lined up with these vertices. So we go to 3D view, make sure everything's lined up. Now we're going to apply modifiers to these two guys, shrink wrap modifiers. So if we go over here, and we apply a shrink wrap modifier, and we're going to choose the cylinder as the object we're going to shrink wrap to. We want to do it as projection, Z negative. And so basically what we've done is we've taken this shape and we've projected it down onto this surface so that it has a nice shape like this. We'll do the same thing with this one. We'll do a shrink wrap modifier, choose the cylinder. I suppose I could have just picked it from the list. Project, Z positive. So again, this one is wrapped around this side, this one's wrapped around this side. Now we're going to select all of our objects. We're going to merge them into a, whoops, you know what, I forgot to apply. You have to apply the modifiers so that you bake the changes in. So now these vertices are actually moved there. So now I'm going to select all of these objects and I'm going to merge them into a single object, and then we'll go into editing mode from the front. Okay, now like I said in my last video, you want to add resolution, like in form of loop cuts this way. We want to add one fewer loop cut as we have sides on this half of the circle. So there are 8 sides in the circle. It means we're going to add 7 loop cuts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Click, click. We're going to scale it down. Whoops, I still have snapping turned on. We're going to scale it down without snapping turned on, so it's just a little bit bigger than this circle. All right. Now we're going to go into face mode, and I'm going to select all of these faces, and I'm going to delete them. Yes, that's the correct thing to do. Okay, sorry. So I've deleted those faces. Now I'm going to go into vertex mode. I'm going to loop select or edge ring select, whatever it's called. I'm not sure. These two. Hit Control E to bring up the edges menu, and I'm going to bridge these edge loops. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Select these, Control E, and bridge these edge loops. So you can start to see it's starting to come together a little bit now. So I'm going to go back in solid view. I'm going to go to edge mode. Now I'm going to start bridging, turn off the resizer. So I'm going to select these two, and I am going to start building polygons that float between them. Whoops, I missed that one. And then this one, of course, it's just a almost a straight up quad. So all these are quads. These are all have 4 polygons on each side, which is what's going to keep your topology being nice and clean and smooth. So there, we've bridged all those. We'll do the same thing on this side. You could also just build this as half and then mirror it if you wanted, but sometimes that's not an option for you. Whoops, I don't think I did that right. Let's take that one out. There we go. And of course, like everything in modeling, sometimes you can get into some fairly tedious clicking. All right, so now I've bridged those two. So the next step is go into vertex mode. I am going to select this entire edge ring, deselect these guys, hit Control E to bridge edge loops, and I've bridged these edge loops. Now, of course, it doesn't line up in the center here. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert an edge loop there, right down the center, select this, select this. So I've selected these two. I am going to merge them at last because this one was the second one I selected. I'm going to do the same thing here. Select this vertex, select this vertex. I'm going to merge at last. There you go. Now, let's just take a look at what it looks like right now without the any supporting geometry. So I hit smooth, and then I'm going to add a subdivision surface modifier. And that might actually be what you want. Like if you want sort of that sense of a weld in between the two, this will give you sort of a nice softer edge. If you want a sharper edge, of course, you can just start adding supporting geometry. So I'm going to insert an edge loop up here, insert an edge loop down here, insert an edge loop right here, and one again right here. And then you take a look at that. We get a nice clean edge. And that's how you do 2 overlapping cylinders or intersecting cylinders that don't meet head on.